Okay guys, so what you see in front of you is the extra practice, page 37. I asked you to do 15 through 21 odd. So let's just get to it. All right, number 15, the answer is 4 tulips per minute. Number 17, the answer is 15 miles per hour. Number 19, the answer is $63 per ticket. Number 21, there's many parts to it. There's 3 parts. So I'm going to read it to you. Letter A is 10.4 meters per second. Letter B is 9.3 meters per second. Letter C is 10.3 meters per second. And of course, that's it. I'm going to say it again. You know what's coming. If you got them all right, you're good. Feel free to watch one problem, just see how I did it, compare what you did with what I did. If you got them all wrong, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It means your brain is struggling. You're actually learning. And so hopefully after watching my video, it'll make more sense. And if you got some wrong and some right, feel free to fast forward to the parts you need. Okay? What else? Oh, that thing I always say. If you didn't do any work, this isn't going to be enough. But hey, I already said that. Just felt like I had to say it again. All right, let's get started in number 15. Carrie planted 48 tulips in 12 minutes. How many tulips did she plant per minute? All right, so we want to know tulips per minute. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to read the directions. Write each rate as a unit rate. Well, that was easy enough. All right, so we have our rate of 48 tulips in 12 minutes. We want this to be a unit rate. We want it to be a unit rate. So that means we want the denominator to be 1. And so we have to divide by the denominator, right? We already know why. We've explained this plenty of times already. And because rates act like fractions, you have to follow the same rules. Whatever you do to the denominator, you do to the numerator. Okay? So 48, one big group of 48 broken up into 12 groups. If you can imagine 12 circles, how much is in each group? 4. Okay? And again, make sure you write the words so you know what you're talking about. And on the quiz, I'm going to ask you to write a sentence. So it's very simple. It's just write what you see. 4 tulips per minute. You don't need the 1. Why? Like I said before, that word per by definition means 1. Per. I know you probably already got used to that, but let me do it again anyways. Minute. Okay? 4 tulips per minute. And there's your answer. All right, on to 17. Alana biked 45 miles in 3 hours. How many miles did she bike per hour? Okay. We want to know miles per hour. Okay. The rate we have is 45 miles in 3 hours. We want to know, well, how much did she do in 1 hour? Right? You divide by the denominator. And it's 15. You know what? Let me do the math. You see where I got the 15 from. Same thing, division again. How many groups of 3 can you make from 4? 1. 3 times 1, 3. You subtract, you have 1 left over. Now when we get to chapter 3, I'll explain to you why this works. Okay? But for now, just trust me, it works, okay? So we have 15 miles per hour. And again, as a sentence, please don't be lazy. I've been there too. I get the feeling. I know that I totally understand it. Sometimes you just want to finish in a rush and be done with it. All right, 15 miles per hour. All right, almost done, guys. Almost done. Hang in there. This might be the shortest lecture yet. All right, 19. The Reyes family bought 4 concert tickets for $252. What was the price per ticket? All right, in that question, you know what? I didn't do this. Let me do this right now. I'm going to copy the question so you can see where I pull the rate from. What was the price per ticket? Now for me, when I see that key word, did I say void? The key word per, and I'll highlight so you can see a little better and also make it darker. Per. In my head, I'm already thinking of this fraction line. All right. So what came before it? Price. Well, that's going to go on top. What came after? Ticket. Well, I'm going to put that on the bottom. So numerator, denominator. That's really all it is. Do not overthink it. Do not... Just sometimes things can be as simple as it seems. Price. Ticket. And in the middle, you have the division bar. Or the fraction bar, or division bar. Really, you're dividing anyways. Right? In the end. Price per ticket. Alright. According to this, we have $252. You know, quick reminder as I'm doing this, I'm reminded, when you want to figure out how much something costs, how much per, the number will always go on top. If you pull out a calculator, you can figure out how much one costs. Okay? So if you divide this by, what did I say it was? 4 tickets? This person bought 4 tickets. Okay, 4 tickets. What you're actually doing, yes, you're dividing by 4, but you might not even have to do this. The key is to divide this by this. You don't need to show it here if you don't want to. But for the sake of argument, just do it anyways. Just keep yourself nice and organized. Now, we want a unit rate. How much for 1? Again, unit, unidad, uni, prefix meaning 1. Put that there, and you divide. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the work. I know. Let's just do it anyways. Okay, so we have 4. You have to ask, how many groups of 4 can you make from 2? Can't do it. You have 25. How many groups of 4 can you make from 25? And again, we were talking about why the first digit goes there, right? Do this. And feel free to highlight it if you want. You know, I'm going to do it anyways. Why not? We're here, right? We're watching the same thing. If I can find my highlighter. Oh, there it is. Your first digit goes right there. Okay. That's very important. Place value matters, people. All right. You can make 6 groups of 4 to get 24. And you know what? I'm going to ink it in so you can see it. There you go. And you subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down the 2. How many groups of 4 can you make from 12? Well, 3. So your answer is 63. $63 per ticket. And again, as a sentence, just write what you see. $63 per ticket. And that's it. That's your answer for that one. All right, one more to go. Number 21. Guys, we haven't even broken the 10-minute mark. Awesome. This might be the shortest one yet. All right, 21. Find the number of meters each record holder ran in 1 second of each event. Round to the nearest tenth. Okay. All right. From what I read, it says, let me read it again. Find the number of meters each record holder ran in 1 second. So we want to know meters per second. All right. Easy enough. We have letter A, which is Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt. He ran 200 meters, M for meters, in 19.30 seconds, or 19 and 30 hundredths of a second. Should just put S, but hey, I'm here anyways. Oh my boy. We want to know how much it is per second. It's going to be 1. The number is going to be 1 because we want a unit rate. We're going to divide by 19.30. This is where it gets scary, people, if you're not sure how to divide with decimal numbers. But we're going to try it, all right? We can do this. Okay, maybe you know this, maybe you don't. We have 19 and 30 hundredths. We're going to have to change this to a whole number. Okay, so what you're really doing, you're multiplying by 100, and when you do that, you find that the decimal point moves 2 spots to the right. So you do the same thing here. All right, and you're gonna fill this with zeros. Okay, so I'm gonna rewrite it so it doesn't look so messy. 1,930. That's the size of the groups we're making, and we're dividing it into 20,000. All right. Crazy, right? But that's the way it works. Meters per second. All right. Here's the deal. We have 1,930. Can we make groups of that from this? No. 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 Yes. Our first digit's going to go right here. All right, look. This is almost 2,000. So you can only make one group. I mean, just think it through. Think it through. 1,930. You're going to subtract. 0 minus 0, 0. 0 minus 3, you can't do it. You have to regroup. But you can't take anything away from 0. You take away... You're not borrowing anything. You regroup. And I'll have to show you later when we get to it. So that becomes 1. This becomes 10. But you're regrouping. That becomes 9. 9. Okay. Ugh. You bring down that 0. Okay. This may seem a little obvious, but let me ask you anyways. Can we make groups of 1,930 from 600? No. Add a 0. Right? Nope. We have 600 left, but we're still trying to make groups of 1,930. Now, that this decimal point means, hey, we're going to have to break this up into fractions, into small pieces. Okay? We're going to add a 0. We're going to bring that 0 down. Okay. Okie dokie. Look. As I said before, this is almost 2,000, right? So I'm going to guess how many groups of 2,000 can I make out of 6,000? I'm going to try 3. Okay, I'm going to try 3. It could be too much or it could be too small. I don't know. Let's give it a shot. 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 3, 9. Yeah? 3 times 9, 27. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. All right, here we go again. The regrouping issue. If you notice I'm not saying anything, it's because by now you should know this, right? 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 7 is 2. Okay, it did say we can round to the nearest tenths place, right? But we need another digit here to see where this goes. Add another 0. Bring it down. 2,100. Oof. My goodness. Yeah, 1930. 0 minus 0. Ugh, 0. 7. 1. It becomes 10. We'll leave it there. So we got, rounded to the nearest tenth, we got 10.3 meters per second. Again, we're focusing on the tenths place. Look to the right. 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. So if the number is more than 5 or more, you add 1 to this, and this becomes 0. But it's 1, it stays the way it is. Now, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to try a calculator, just to make sure, because I could be wrong here. It happens. 200 divided by 19.3. Almost. Apparently I did the math wrong. What did I do wrong here? Well, let's check, shall we? That means I did this wrong. Like I said, it happens to all of us. Dang, we were doing so well too. All right. 3 times 0, 3 times 3 is not, wait, hold on. 0, 0, 6. 3 times 0, sure, 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is, 3 times 9 is 27. Yeah. 3 plus 2 is 5. Alright, 0, again, 880, 5, 10, right? But this is 9, this is 10. Now, obviously I did something wrong. You know what? I'm going to stop it right here. Okay, the last problem to work on is 21. Okay, so here's the deal. It says, find the number of meters each record holder ran in 1 second of each event, round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so it looks like we're comparing meters and seconds, right? So if we're doing a race, the way it works then is you want to know how fast someone is going, so you want the time unit to be on the bottom. So we definitely want seconds on the bottom. And we're measuring meters. Okay, this makes sense. Meters per second. How fast is someone going? Right? The smaller the number, the faster. Yeah? So just for example, if I can run a 15-minute mile, but you can run a 6-minute mile, obviously you're faster because you ran the mile faster. So the smaller number is faster. Okay, we have 3 people. We want to find the unit rate of whatever meter per 1 second. And we have 3 people to figure this out for. So let's get started. All right, we have Usain Bolt. I could put his name just to get myself organized. He ran 200 meters in 19 and 30 hundredths of a second. Okay, I'm abbreviating S for second, M for meter. Okay, now like we said before, we want the denominator to be 1 because we want a unit rate. We want to know how much something is or how fast something is. Doesn't matter what we're measuring, but it has to be for 1. Okay, in this case, 1 second. So we're going to divide by 19 and 30 hundredths of a second. All right. And since they behave like fractions, we're going to do the same thing for the top. By the way, you don't have to draw the fraction bar. I don't know why I did that. I was just forced a habit, I guess. Let me erase it. I don't want to confuse you. The idea is whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. Okay. And so now we've got to do division. All right. Divisions of decimal numbers are a little special. You should have learned this already, but you haven't. Pay attention. All right, we have the whole number of 200, right? We put a decimal point, because actually what it is, technically, it's 200.0. Okay, I don't know if you remember that either. All right, we have to change this decimal number into a whole number. Okay? Now, you've been told you move the decimal point as many spots as it takes to get to the right. Okay? Actually, what we're doing is multiplying by 100, but more on that later. Just for now, focus on the procedure. Okay, just move the decimal point as many times as you can to the right till you get to the end. And again, whatever you do there, you do the same here. 1, 2, put a decimal point there, add a 0. Okay, now you have a different problem. Now you have whole numbers. 1,930, then you have 20,000. Okay. Long division. Here's the thing about long division. You got to stay very organized, very clean, very neat. It's very simple to make a mistake and blow the whole problem. Okay, of course you could use a calculator, but that's not the point. Okay, we're making groups of 1,930. We can't do it there. Nope, not enough. Not enough. Yes. Your first digit will go above the third 0 right here. The 0 in the tens place. Okay, this is almost 2,000, so I can say I can make one group, right? All right, so here we go. And against multiplications, I can make one group of 1,930. And you subtract. Okay, here's the deal. 0 minus 0, great. 0 minus 3, you can't do it. You can't take away 3 from 0. Not in this case. If it was 0 minus 3, you'll have a negative number, but this 0 is part of a bigger number. Okay? But anyways, for right now, just know that you can't do this. And you can't take away, you can't borrow, quote unquote, borrow from a 0. So you have to go here. That becomes a 1. This becomes a 10. That becomes a 9. And now you have 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. You have 70 left, not enough to make another group. So you bring that 0 down. Okay? Now, we're trying to make groups of this. Is this enough to make another group of 1,930? No. So what's going to happen? You have to add a 0. Okay, but now what? We have this left over. We don't want a fraction, so what's going to happen? We're going to keep going. We're going to add a decimal point. That decimal point means, hey, we're going to cut this up into pieces. Okay, I'm going to add a 0 there, and I'm going to bring it there. Okay. Now, just for the sake of argument, this is pretty close to 2,000. If you round it up, it's pretty close to 2,000. How many groups of 2,000 can we make from 7,000? 2,000 plus 2,000, 4,000 plus 2,000, 6,000. I'm going to try 3. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I can always erase it. 3 times 0. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 9 is 27. Carry the 2 right there. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Here we go, all over again. Be very careful. Do this slowly. Do it correctly. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 9, you can't do it. You're going to have to regroup. But you can't regroup from 0, so you go to the 7. You break that apart. You're left with 6. You put the 1 right there. But remember, you're regrouping, so that becomes a 9. And you have 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 minus 7 is 2. 6 minus 5 is 1. Alright. Whoa, why did I put 5? See? If you're not careful, silly little mistakes like that can totally kill your math. Alright. I'm going to add a 0. Now, part of the direction said round to the nearest tenth. Here's my tenths place, but I need one more to see if this stays at 3 or if it goes to 4. Okay? So now I have 12,100. Well, that's definitely enough, right? I can definitely make groups of 1,930 out of this. But let's go with it, this being almost 2,000. And this being 12,000, right? Again, estimating. It's a good thing. I can make groups of 6. Okay, let's just say you didn't understand what I just said. This is pretty close to 2,000, right? If this was 2,000, and if this was 12,000, you can see that 6 of these gives you 12,000, right? I just estimated. Sometimes you need a lot of skills, guys. These are things you should have learned in elementary school, okay? But regardless, we're here now. Let's deal with this. 6 times 0, 0. 6 times 3, 18. 8 goes there. The 1 goes there, right? Guys, I'm sorry, it's late. I'm a little tired, so I'm making silly little mistakes. But I'm catching them, which is the whole point. Make mistakes, but try to catch them if you can. All right, 6 times 0, 0. 6 times 3, 18. Put the 1 there. 6 times 9 is 54. Plus 1 is 55. Put the 5 there. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus 5 is 11. 0. I'm going to regroup. That becomes 0. That becomes 10. 2. We regroup. This becomes 1. That becomes 10. Okay. You're left with 520. But that doesn't matter. This is what matters. 10.36 after rounding the nearest tenths. The tenths place is this 3. Right? Since this is 5 or more, you add 1 to this, right? So this is plus 1. This becomes 0. 10.40, or really just 10.4. Okay, if you don't know what I just did, that means you don't understand rounding. Oh boy, we're going to have a lot to cover. There's a solution for this. I can do this later. When we get to there, hopefully soon, I'll explain it to you. But anyways, the answer over then is 10.4 meters per second. Or, to write it completely as a sentence, 10.4 meters per second. Like, what did you just draw? There it is. All right. Let's keep going. Letter B. I'll try not to put any decimal numbers in the math because I'm not trying to test you on your decimal place knowledge because that wouldn't be fair. I mean, effectively, yeah, the goal here is to test you on rates, whether you know how to simplify them, if you know what they mean, how they work, and so forth. All right, this is Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson. And we have 400 meters in 43.18 seconds. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. All right. Again, this is a unit rate. We want to know in 1 second how far this person ran, right? How far? So again, you're going to divide by 43.18. Ooh. All right. It's scary, I know. 43.18. 400. All right, bear with me. Decimal point. There's 2 place values. I have to move it to the right 2 spaces. And this is a whole number, so technically it's 400.0. I move this 2 spaces. 1, 2. Decimal points right there. Decimal points right there. I'm going to rewrite this. I have 4,318. And on the inside I have 40,000. Oh boy. Okay. Whew. 4,318. That's what we're making groups of. We can't do it there. No, no, no. Yes. Yes. Our first digit will go somewhere here. Okay, now here's the deal. You know what? I know I said earlier do this and do this, but when it's like that, it's just crazy. If this is all zeros, try to round this up to a whole number that ends in zeros, okay? I could do 4,300 or 4,000, and that's it. If I round to the nearest thousands place, this becomes 4,000, okay? Now, if this is 4,000, how many 4,000s can I make out of 40,000? Okay? Okay, I can see that you're thinking. It would be 10, but we can only put 1 digit here. So instead of 10, I'm going to try 9. Guys, and I'm sorry if I'm totally losing you here. These are things you should have learned last year and the year before. Honestly. Okay? This thing should have been taught to you last year, honestly. The estimating, the rounding. But let me say it again. 4,318 is pretty close to 4,000. If I round to the nearest thousands place, I look at the 4, I look to the right. If it's 4 or less, this stays the same. Everything after becomes 0. I hope that strikes a memory or something in you. Okay? And then just 4,000, 40,000, I can make 10 of these. I just add a 0. Look at that. It works. But I can't put 2 digits in a place value. So I'm going to have to try 9. All right, I think I said enough. Let's go with the math. 9 times 8, 72. Carry the 7. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 7 is 16. Carry the 1. 9 times 3 is 27. Plus 1 is 28. Carry the 2. 9 times 4 is 36. Plus 2 is 38. I realize I'm going fast. But these are times tables. These are things you should already know. Okay? Alright, we're going to have to regroup. Oof! Might as well start all the way back here. That becomes 3. Now that's 10, but now it's 9. And this is 10, but now it's 9. This is 10, but now it's 9. This is a 10. And guys, if you don't know how I did that, oh boy. Oh boy. You guys really, really need to catch up. Okay? We will get to it eventually, but in the meanwhile, you have to know the basics. Please look on YouTube. Look on Khan Academy. I might have to assign some lessons for you to do this on your own, because really, you need to know this. But anyways, 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 8 is 1. Whew. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. I have 1,138 left. Not enough to make a group of 4,318. You know what's coming next, guys. I'm going to put a decimal point right there. You know what? I'm going to use a pen, make it darker. That means I'm going to break this apart into pieces. I'm going to add a 0, bring that 0 down. Okay, let's look. We have 4,318. Again, it's pretty close to 4,000. This is pretty close to, I want to say, 11,000, right? Well, yeah, it is. But let's do something else, you know. Let's look at the first. I think we can do it now. Look at that. We're making groups of 4. Can we make groups of 4 out of 1? No. What about 11? We can make 2 groups out of that. Let's try 2. Again, what I'm doing is making the problem smaller that you can do. All of you, I'm sure, can do 11 divided by 4. Okay, and if you can't, we really need to have a talk. Okay? Almost done, guys. 2 times 8, 16. Here the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, oh boy. I'm going to regroup, but I need to get it from here. 10 minus 6 is 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. 3 minus 6, nope, got to regroup. 13 minus 6 is 7. Alright. Look at what's going on here. I have 10, really. 1 and a 0 together is 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. Okay. Still not enough for another group. I'm going to add another 0. Bring that down. Okay. Just make this small. Don't get overwhelmed by this and this. We have a 4. We have a 2. Can we break 4 into 2? Can we make groups of 4 out of 2? No. What's the next digit? Again, look what I'm doing here. I'm kind of teaching you 2 things right now. How to do the unit rates and how to divide at the same time. Okay, that didn't work. Can I make groups of 4 out of 27? Yes. How many? I can do at least 6, right? Because 4 times 6 is 24. Alright, try the 6 here. See what happens. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. Carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Alright. That becomes 3. This is 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 3 minus 0 is 3. 4 minus 9, can't do it, you regroup. That's 14 minus 9 is 5. Okay, we stop there because we can round in the nearest tenth. Alright, we have 9.26. We focus on the tens place. If the number next to it is 5 or more, you add 1 to this. Okay, and everything else after becomes 0. This becomes a 0. Then this is 3. And everything else in front stays the same. You have 9.3 meters. So the final answer is 9.3 meters per second. And I'll write it as a sentence, 9.3 meters. I could have used M, but you know what? I don't want you to forget what the letters mean. Meters per second. There's your final answer. Whew. 1 more to go, people. I know it's been 17 minutes already. That's why I broke it up into 2 pieces, 2 videos. Because, see, I'm teaching you 2 things. How to divide decimal numbers and how to do unit rates. It's double a lesson here. Alright? I hope this is reminding you of what's going on. Okay. Oh, again, we have Usain Bolt. Look at that. This is letter C. We have 100 meters. 9.69 seconds. We want a unit rate. We want to know how far this guy runs in 1 second. And by now you know the deal. Right? Oh boy, this is where it gets a little freaky. Alright. The dividend is 100. I'm going to put a decimal point and a 0. 9.69. We got to move that decimal point from the divisor to the right. Okay, it takes 2 spots to get to the end. I'll do the same thing here. 2 spots. 1, 2, decimal point, add a 0. Let me rewrite this bad boy. 969. 10,000, decimal point. Okay. Deep breath, guys. Look, 969 is pretty close to 1,000. Okay, I'm going to put to the side. It's pretty close to 1,000. So think of 1,000. Okay? Can I make groups of 969 out of 1? No. 10? No. No. Yes. Right? How many groups of 1,000, again, if I estimate it to that, How many groups of 1,000 can I make out of 1,000? 1. But it's not 1,000, obviously. And then it's just 1 times 9, 1 times 6, 1 times 9. Ooh, this is where people mess up so badly. Step by step, do it slowly. You can't take away 9 from 0, because this 0 is part of a whole number. It doesn't work that way. So you got to regroup. Nope. Nope. Yes. Again. This becomes 9, right? If I'm taking away from a big... You know what? Let's not do that. I'm going to lose you guys. I'm trying to save time, but I might make it worse. This becomes 0. This becomes 10, right? But since we're regrouping, this becomes a 9 anyways. That's a 10, but we're regrouping. That becomes a 9. This is a 10, but we're regrouping. But that's actually, we stop there. Good. 10 minus 9, 1. 9 minus 6, 3. 9 minus 9, well, there you go. You're good. It's 0. You bring down this 0. Can we make groups of 1,000 or 969 from 310? No. You put a 0. You put a 0. Okay, now guys, see what I did here? If I'm not careful, I might think this is part of the answer. So for now, since I'm done with it, I'm going to erase it. All right. I have 310. Can't do it, right? I'm going to add a 0 here, meaning I'm going to cut this into further pieces. Okay. All right. Remember, this is pretty close to 1,000. I have 3,000 here, more or less. I can make groups of 3 out of that. And let's do the math again. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 2 is 20. Here are the 2. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 2 is 29. Oof. Here we go. Let me see if I can use a different color so you can see differentiate. Okay. 0 minus 7 can't do it. I have to regroup, but I can't take anything from there. This, I can change it to a 0. That becomes 10. But that's 9. That's 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 0 is 9. And then 0 minus 9, you can't do it. You regroup. That's 2. That is 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. Okay, keep going. Add a 0. Bring it down. 1,000. This is almost 2,000. You know what? Let's try 2. But I'm going to do it in pencil in case it's wrong. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 2 times 9 is 18 plus 1 is 19. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Too much. So you know this is going to have to be 1 then. Right? And we can stop here. Because we just need to know the tenths. Right? So we have 10.3. 10.31, excuse me, meters. But we have to round in the nearest tenths. Okay, look at the 3. If this is 4 or less, this stays the same. That just becomes 3. This becomes 0. And this becomes, or stays the same 10. 10.30 or just 10.3 meters. Whew, so the final answer is 10.3 meters per second. Okay, guys, this is 21 done. 21 is done. You got a preview of what's coming up in Chapter 3. You should already know this. If you don't, please look on YouTube. Okay? It's for your own benefit, not mine.